alongside of Maokai. We knew that Cassante was coming, of course. It was just interesting to see so much prio on the blind Silas, especially when the Renekton worked really well, and I thought Dundun was playing it decently well.
No, I was hoping for Dundun's Gragas. Not because it's good here, because I don't think he should go. We should go for a triple AP topside. It's very bad.
Well, you can't always get what you want.
I know. We'll see it, I'm sure. Plenty of times as... Let's take some stock, because we actually have some pretty substantial changes. Nongshim now... even more short range. Basically going to play out the same way they did last time in terms of trying to get a flank without a Fiesta or Dundun. The one upside for them is that it's actually easier to play the composition into a Syndra than it is into an Azir. Azir can, of course, really be a very big mitigating force, whereas with Syndra you only have to take into account the scatter the weak. Crocodile being ready now does mean that the top side for DRX I think is way stronger than it was previously, and Nongshim last game with very generously donated leads, or, you know, hard won depending on how you look at it, given by DRX, still weren't able to win the game. I think they will have a harder time to get those leads this time around. And when it comes to mid to late game team fights, again, edge would be for DRX.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially with the Syndra, you know, they spike a little bit faster as well. They have the Renekton as well, so you can take some of those mid-game fights that maybe you were looking to avoid with their composition the last time around. As just a raccoon there. And yeah, very interesting composition to see how DRX, I'm very surprised they were able to get their hands on Renekton after the way the last game went. And the Elise, once again here for Sylvie. We'll see if he can have just as equal of an early game impact as game number 1. As here we go onto the Rift for game 2. Here we go. We're back on the Rift. Same sides.
Still warms my heart to see such a big crowd for a team that got fully promoted out of challengers. You know, there are no big players in here that have been around for a time and able to build up a fan case. Yet every single Nongshim game, it feels like the entirety of Lowell Park is at the readies.
He missed it.
They don't know.
Uh-oh. I think Vital might just die. It's going to be a very awkward time for him. Like, maybe he could dash and flash out? Anyway, it's going to be a very good trade here for DRX. Fate is spending quite a decent amount of time down here to try to get this one. The exhaust is coming in, the flash, and the ignite will be used to try to get on top of Vital. As here comes Duckdom still going forward, and now Fiesta is here. The flash on in. As Beryl is not going to block it. And that's just going to be the end of Duckdom. First blood goes to the Lucian.
And that was such a big win already. We saw in the previous game that Duckdom and Beryl are actually capable of getting very big early leads into this lane. And you blew Flash, Cleanse, and Heal. And then they overextend. Fiesta's level 1, obviously, with the Silas, very, very strong. And they just get run over. I am a bit baffled, again, because it feels like for the second game in a row, DRX is giving over these huge leads as Croco might look for an early level 2 gank, or level 3 gank rather here, that we've seen many a times with this Maokai. Does know that his bot lane is going to get shoved in, and this is such a big win, right? Because you get the ward stays alive. Vital is in such deep trouble here already. The minion waves are already rolling in. He's going to miss, if you back off here.
Leave it at that.
More than enough. But they are clearly not accounting for Fiesta also coming over. Fiesta wastes no time, and as a result...
나이스, 현서야. 나방!
Dabong, which is kind of like thumbs up. And, okay. Let's see, this is a question I had. No stun is going to land on the Fate, and the Cocoon is going to hit the minion, so at least Sylvie can help his mid laner, I guess. Not the gank they were looking for, as now Fiesta getting pretty low. It's going to be the W will miss, as Fiesta just dashes away. Definitely an awkward spot for him, lane not in a great spot.
Oh my god, Croc was going in again. already went for the first level 3 gank. However, Sylvie's now here. Don't think they win this. Do know though, Vital obviously due to the timing of that kill has not been able to go back to lane. So in that way, Kroko? Well, we do see that Fate's coming. Does a prio.
Yeah.
Sylvie in trouble.
Actually trying to bait it this time, and I think it might work. Sylvie will flash away as Kroko pushes him closer to the minions, which he will repel to. And now Sylvie's just going to walk out of that one. I think it's pretty likely he would have gotten away anyway, but Kroko unfortunately does burn his flash as well, trying to pick up that kill. Not meant to be, forcing these early fights against Elise.
And as a result, Fiesta is just chilling in mid. Of course, got taken very low, so had to back. Then teleported back to his lane, so could not be part of the second Fate roll. Well, the first one, obviously, built a little bit tongue-in-cheek, was level 1. Fate won't end up missing too much. I do think that due to him still having his teleport available, he in the end was fine. Fiesta going to be able to, at the very least, or hopefully look for a crash here and then get another back in. Because the tier buy from Fate, not that threatening. Furious are gone for the first strike, which we have seen more and more, especially in these type of ranged versus melee matchups. But does mean that it's going to take a while for Fate to really become as lethal as we've often seen with the Syndra. We think that rules like the Electrocute, for example, will spike a little bit earlier. Another example that we haven't seen recently, but we saw a lot back in the day, was things, especially in matchups like this, like the Airy, where you can actually really aggressively harass, but Silas, especially with Q-Max, first strike, doesn't care as much as he once did. And overall, again, big early lead here for Nongshim with a composition that definitely does need it, but like the last game as well, and I'd argue with Fiesta looking to be in a similar position as well, the game remains playable up until the end. I don't think this is the type of comp where you guaranteed lose when it gets late, because you do actually have ways to get on top, right? To take down the Yuumi or the Zeri, to single out a target, maybe catch someone inside.
Yeah,
but
you're not dealing with the Azir this time.
Exactly,
so.
yeah. But it'll be a lot harder. And for Nongshim, easy is good. Easy is good.
Yeah, you know, they seemingly had it pretty easy in the first game, and we all know how that one turned out. So, yeah. Hopefully they learned a bit. They can kind of go from there and continue doing a good job. They have nice prio on the bottom side. They are going to take the streak down, especially because Kroko, we've seen what happens if he tries to 1v1 the Elise. Ooh, nice little chunk there, but that's onto the Yuumi.
And I wouldn't even mind if Nongshim say that they lose today and are unable to get a win. If they lose here 0-2, or even if they lose the series at all, would go back to some of the dive comps that we've seen in the past. Sandbox was a really good example of this, as I don't think you can go for this contest here.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
They're trying. They are trying their hearts out, Chronicler. I mean, Kroko is like, no, please do not take this Ocean Drake away from me. I'm sorry, dude, it's not going to happen. They will take the Drake away from me. There it goes.
You're a level down on a pickaxe double longsword Lucian. You can't walk up.
I just wonder what the comms are like, you know? Like, is Beryl calling for them to take the big trade? Is it him, once again, you know, kind of on the loudspeaker, as he has been many times before? Is Kroko trying to push the envelope?
And you see as well, both junglers are wasting / spending so much time. Kroko there was actually looking to path upwards and then had to go back down just because the threat of Sylvie diving obviously didn't actually happen. Knockdown and Barrow just got zoned off of the wave, and fine play going over to Nongshim, but we do see these top camps have been up for Sylvie for quite a while now. Gonna have to catch up, give his pet some extra treats, as neither top laner is back yet. Really a micro commentary on the current state of top lane, as Dunun's gonna TP back to lane, because where else would he go?
It's the current state of the game. The first 8 minutes, the junglers are on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way it goes. If you're ganking top, it's almost like you're a hipster. You're like, well, they'll never expect this. Like, this is really out of vogue right now, so why don't I try this? Maybe it'll work. Obviously, some certain matchups may want you to try to push them in a certain direction. But yes, top is definitely not getting as much love as bot is in this very snowbally meta. It makes a lot of sense. As Gnome, with their release, will take this other early objective as well. Just like game one, just one kill fewer for the side of Gnome as a team.
And do see Vital and Peter also going back. Probably could have done that a little bit earlier, but didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. Dr. and Barrel not going to be there, and with Vital and Peter, it's a little bit safer. But even just Peter roaming up would have probably been enough. They also had vision, I think, of Dogdom and Barrel, so a bit unnecessary there, but isn't even going to cost them a plate, only going to cost them a little bit of CS. And now do see the item lead here as I love Dundun, man. He's not even winning. He wasn't winning in the last game either, right? Like, his Renekton was good, obviously, but
he's just having a good time.
He's just having a good time. Just having a giggle.
He's just enjoying life in the top lane.
You gotta be a special type of person to be a top laner.
What's that supposed to mean?
You can interpret that however you want. Valdez.
I've heard that said about many roles, though. I've heard that said about the jungle. I've heard that said about the AD carry role. I've heard it said about support even.
Okay, maybe
I feel like the lane I hear it the
very
least about is mid.
Okay, that's true.
By the way, I'm a mid laner. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Those are the only normal people. That's what you're getting at, Valdez?
No, that's not what I said. As Culling is going to come out here. He does have a couple of minions, but this is going to be annoying. As a nice dodge from Duckdom. He will have to flash, though. He's taking a ton of damage as the trade will come in. And now the root from Kroko might be enough as Peter gets pretty low. And now this is going to be interesting. I think the sustain of the Yuumi will be enough. Sylvie can't quite get the damage in. Although he is getting pretty close, actually, now. Maybe kind of that too early as in he goes. The Tristan advances enough as it goes under the cocoon. And now Peter is not in a great spot as the Prowling Projectile will force a flash. DRX take a nice trade in the bottom lane at the end of it all.
Oh, bit of a redemption moment for Kroko there. Even though he got POG, I'm pretty sure that was not the way he wanted to get POG.
3 out of 11.
Well, not even that. Just the game was not that good for a player that, again, when we go back to Sandbox, it really was about the perfect storm between Kroko, Cal, and Prince. But Kroko was a big part of it. And here do have Vital attempting, I think in terms of mechanical execution, is the only reason that this is even remotely close. Really, really like what we see. Unfortunately, miss on the bubble there. And then here...
Oh boy, here we go again.
Okay.
Vital has no summoners. He doesn't even have Culling. So, okay, nice little Duke and dive. He's actually able to use the alcove. Alcove gaming.
Actual alcove gaming. Look at that.
It's actually really nice. Now, maybe Kroko should have just gone back to lane. I don't know if it would have helped anyway, because Sylvia was there. He just bought time for his jungler to come over.
I would love to find out what the uptime on top camps has been this game. Like, how many times have those camps actually been taken?
Once.
I saw either on Twitter or Reddit that in game 1 between Kwangdong and T1 yesterday, T1 never at any point took their own moves. In the entire game.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're wolves from blue side.
Yeah.
Right, because they were playing blue side in
Yeah.
game 1. Yeah, that makes sense, actually, considering that owner was he was just sitting in the bottom lane the entire game.
And Chovy wasn't in the game to farm the wolves.
Yeah, true. He is an expert wolf farmer, as we know. And now, Kroko's here again. It is a bit of a 4v4. Teleports both being down here. Okay. We'll have the ults coming out here. Kroko trying to get on top of this Nami as she will go down, but the damage is huge from Sylvie as he will take down this area. That's a trade he'll take any day. As now Fiesta on the chase here. Kroko gonna get rooted by Silas's better Maokai ultimate as Vital will unfortunately go down to the gameplay button. Not much you can do about that. As Syndra is Syndra after all. You can see the trades are pretty nice in favor of Gnome anyway. Fate getting pretty low. He is very tanky with this Catalyst already. As a lot of missed skill shots. Fate continuing to trade. Projectile comes out. Not going to amount to too much. But at least the Drake take was stopped. DRX were actually able to delay this because Sylvie had to come in for the fight.
And turn here on Peter. Really nicely done again by Croco to find the dodge. Does land a crucial bubble though. And unfortunately, Fiesta not quite able to get the chains. If he hits one or two of the chains that we see coming through here on either Fate or Barrel, or earlier on Croco,
or just any of them. Just one.
They would. Well, yeah, they would win a lot harder. Might immediately go for an attempt towards that Drake. The last one he actually didn't want to hit, so it was good that that one didn't go in.
Hey, guess what, Chronicler? We're back in the bot lane.
Yeah,
no, this is not a replay.
Those top camps are still up, Valdez. They're not going anywhere.
We're here again. Wow. Could have seen this coming. Oh, by the way, it's a 4v4 again. This time, Dindin has TP to the top side. No teleport here for Rascal. So another 4v4 Croco trying to go in for the steal. It is pretty close, but will go the way of Elise. That's okay. Fiesta once again kind of behind the play. That is going to be an ult onto Sylvie, but it's not going to kill anyone. As over the wall goes Vital, and the damage is massive from this culling. It will take down the tree. It will take down the Lightning Lady. And also Fate and the rest of the team is just going to get run down here. 4 kills for the side of Nongshim, plus the cherry on top Hextech Drake.
DRX just can't help themselves. Valdez. This is a second Drake. It's not a soul point.
Must smork.
We're 14 minutes in. Yes, Docdom got a very, very nice first item. That's great. Why are we opting into these 4v4s permanently against Lucian, Nami, Silas, and Elise? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, does he even have an item? I guess he probably has one.
No, he had shield at that point. That's why that fight looked even remotely close. But then Peter hits a nice bubble, and...
Yeah, and one item Zeri is not like the...
No, it's not remotely comparable. Like, it can be fine if you find a good angle. We have seen Zeri's pop off in these type of mid-game skirmishes when all of a sudden Zeri appears and your opponent's caught off guard. But this was a very clearly orchestrated, very telegraphed, we are going to 4v4. And the early amount of CC that's available for DRX, the fact that champions like Yuumi and Zeri just aren't really online yet, to me makes it a pretty questionable call. You can try and look, but look at this. This is exactly what happened in game number 1. Again, game is not even remotely over because Nongshim have shown that they have a really tough time in actually closing out wins. But regardless of what happens in this match, for DRX fans, you're looking at this like, oh no, what is going on, guys? And it's the type of disjointedness and I think lack of a clear plan, of a clear identity that is still very much hurting DRX. And they themselves said this might take longer to actually figure out, like, what is our identity, what is our cohesion, and we're seeing it in play right here, Valdez.
Yeah, I think they don't quite get it yet either. And it is still early in spring. I mean, this is their third best of 3. But eventually, you got to stop using that excuse. You know, like, you know how Wolf was talking about yesterday, you know, the Kwangdong, this is just a scrim. That excuse eventually is going to expire. So will this one. You know, eventually it won't be early in spring anymore. So, and it's okay for now, but we'd like to see some progress as here comes Vital. And he is getting in there, but maybe just a little bit too far as, okay, maybe not the look you were looking for as, well, that was pretty good. Fiesta gonna get a solo kill onto Fate in the bottom lane at least.
Best part about Fiesta being in this game, that we also have an appropriate way of naming what is happening. Game is really all over the place. Valdez says, nice sidestep there from Croco on the bubble, comes out of nowhere, catches a Vital off guard, and these are the mid lane dive, I think, just, again, going for it is fine. You get the kill, it's great, but you don't need to. Zoning off is enough, and here Fiesta catches Fate unaware, and with the position that the Silas is in already, I do think a lot stronger up until the later stages, and even then, dodge a scatter, you'll be fine. This is really just a lot going wrong for Vital.
It's all fine until he dashes forward with no vision over the wall.
Yeah, and
it's totally good. Push the Zeri out.
You push the Zeri out, you might take half a chunk of that turret, and if you open up the map, you can start choking out vision. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, that's, yes, we are definitely in Fiesta territory. He is on the map.
He is here.
He does own this map. It is his territory.
He's only died once this entire series, which, considering how crazy it's been, and that was even like at the very end of the last game.
Yeah.
He was basically deathless up until they lost.
He was 8-0, you remember. He was legendary. And then he died and they lost.
So Fiesta is the only one not Fiesta-ing.
Yeah, he just brings the Fiesta.
Hey.
He doesn't live in it as, okay, Dominus versus Dominus. Which Dominus is better? Turns out Renekton has a lot of ways to sustain a little bit better than that Silas.
Let's giggle.
Will win the 1v1.
Remember when I was saying that Fiesta wasn't partaking in the Fiesta? I was wrong. I'm sorry. He is in fact part of it.
It's Bork Dirk Renekton.
Yeah.
He has 0 armor.
Yeah.
Just got bodied in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't even... And now Rascal has a Prowler's Claw.
Yeah.
So that's fun for him.
That's the last time Fiesta will take that trade.
Dundun, meanwhile, unbothered, unfazed, laning.
Has he left top lane? I don't think he has. He teleported top that one time.
Dundun leaves top lane when he's needed. He has a sixth sense. All reliable is there exactly when the team.
It's just Cassante bot in the top lane is pushing. Like, he's great. I mean, he's doing really well. Like this bot. I mean, he's gotten a lot of damage done, but he has not done a lot else. That's all I'm trying to say. Duckdom is getting chunked once again. This time, there is no Malkind to threaten. No flash here on Kroko. And that's all good and fine. As okay. Sylvie is trying to take the enemy red buff. Well, he's pretty strong, but he is going to die, as now Fiesta is basically a raid boss still, even after the last fight. He's got a lot of health with that rod, as Duckdom is in so much trouble. The bubble is huge, and down he will go as Dundun throws the cat over the wall. And that's just 4 kills, just like that. DRX thought they could Fiesta with the Fiesta. They were wrong.
They had no idea that Nongshim has been Fiestaing for a year.
This is their comfort zone. Why are you putting them in their comfort zone?
They get the kill immediately on Sylvie. They're up a member. I genuinely believe, and we gotta check the replay, that they didn't expect Nongshim to then make the call. We're gonna fight anyway. Watch us care. As this is a very unfortunate scenario where Fiesta doesn't have full stack yet. He's also playing, as you pointed out, into Blade of the Ruined King Renekton. Blade of the Ruined King is one of the best possible items for 1v1s in situations like this, especially because there is actually a lot of health on the side. It says, watch this. Watch what happens here. In no way do DRX think they're actually...
They're like, wait, what?
Here. Right? And you see that they have a teleport as well. Rascal teleports, but it's already too late, Valdez.
Here we go again. Kroko's caught on the wolves. He did not have flash, actually. He was walking towards that wall. I thought maybe he did. Okay, what could go wrong with Nongshim doing Baron? Seems like maybe they're not going to go for it this time. 21... Oh, well, I say that. Sylvie is going to start that. And here comes Vital and Peter. He does have a lot of experience tanking this Baron this series.
Hey, and remember when I said Dundun is exactly there when you need to? All reliable. When the team needed him, he was there.
He's right in position, just ready.
Ready to go.
Yeah, he's waiting. It looks like, okay.
Give it up. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know what to say, guys. Fiesta just gonna body him under the turret. Yeah, he even flashed away, did Fate, and Fiesta's like, dude, I have flash too. Okay, let's see it. Rascal, he's got Prowler's Claw. That is one dead mermaid. And one tiny step for DRX. One minuscule step. It's Rascal now. He's getting dove under the turret as Fiesta will get his revenge. And he's got a stopwatch to survive as well. Oh, man. 24 kills in this game. 22 minutes. Nongshim doing a very good job of dragging DRX to their level. I won't say down to their level because, to be honest, looks like a very similar skill level in this series, at least.
As you can just notice how incredibly kind of frazzled DRX is. Maybe Kroko was thinking that they were already on the Baron at this point, and someone needs to woke up, and there's no one in his team that can really do it, so he's unfortunately the sacrificial lamb. This teleport, though, you gotta be closer. The call to give up the Baron when the game set is this
얘들아 미드
bad
4렙 차이 나.
is fine,
오케이 필 채우자 그럼.
but
He
to
said
then
something,
get
I didn't
caught,
understand it, but the audience kind of
this is
like,
actually
whoa.
a very realistic depiction of what happens when a crocodile finds a fish. Unfortunately for Rascal, he will subsequently get punished. And I know the previous game, there was a little bit of throwing happening,
I feel
but
like
I think that we've done it.
I was
this
about to
time
ask
around.
you, Crown there, you want to play the Challengers game? Which team is going to win from here? Do you
No, it's
know?
No, it's actually an option. It's
Ooh, I don't know.
I have faith.
Okay.
The position is very different from last game. They're
Right.
way further ahead.
Chronicler chooses Nongshim. And yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot done with this Baron push as well. This is very early on in the game. As the slow comes in, Rascal's in a lot of trouble. He has to go forward. He's not tanky at all. Down he goes. And this might just be a quick win to Nongshim. Although the respawns are coming in. Again, it's still very early. Might just go for the inhibitor. Let's see how far they just push this as they're trying to buff up the mid wave. They will be successful in that. Mid wave, though, is gone. Fiesta trying to get behind the Mazingo's Dindin as well. And, okay, Vital. Nope, that didn't work. As he's going to go down, and the return call comes in. Nice knock him on a Duck Dom. And that will take him out. Fate, unfortunately, not quite able to do it alone here, I don't think, as he can barely even get away from the Silas. This game is looking pretty over, as they are going to push them back in and try to bolster their KDAs at 25 minutes. Nongshim will take a game 2.
Croco, I'm pretty sure ending with the same KDA, but the game could not be more different, and it has been a recurring theme. Do not try to fight these challenger teams when you are in a position where you don't have to, because when it comes to macro, when it comes to map movement, they're just not going to be up to your level. But if there's one thing that these players have, it's hands. As we saw there.
Yeah.
Who do I vote for? Is it actually Fiesta? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think it is.
I feel like it is. Is it
It is
Vital?
Fiesta.
Is it? It's not Dundun. I know that.
No.
That's an easy one.
I think Fiesta gets it this time around.
Look at him giggle though. They're in the back. Yeah, I played the game too, guys. I was there for the one fight that won us the game.
Yeah.
All reliable. What you gonna do as big win for Nongshim here, but again, heartbreak for DRX, a team that still looks like they are figuring it all out. That early repeated attempt at trying to take the dragon when they just didn't need to.
DRX, I think they need to, like, they need a closet of drawing boards to go back to. Like, they are looking very, very lost, and I'm sure you guys can see it too. You know, I don't want to call them out too much, but this team on paper should be better than this, and I think they're playing Nongshim's game, and that is not working for them, obviously, especially with the comp difference and all this stuff. Nongshim, they play it cleaner. In game number 2, they play their game. They fight every single chance that they could, and they were able to take down game number 2. So who knows what's going to happen from here, Chronicler, because it certainly does feel like it could go either way. But guys, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back for game 3.
신드라 노플이야. 신드라 노플이야.
빠진 것 같아.
원딜만 노플이야.
대리가 골.
제리 아직 노플이야. 제리 아직 노플이야.
대리가 본다.
내리 맞을게.
아,
까비. 야, 터치자 얘들아.
타워.
얘들아 제발.
빼자. 아닌가?
야, 천천히 해봐. 제리.
뭐야 이거.
끝난다.
아 끝내자.
미안하다. 타워 칠게.
타워 쳐주면 안 될까?
타워 찍게 나.
고맙다.
어떻게 해도 끝나. 어떻게 해도 끝나.
이거.
한번 더. 잘했어.